Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the vendors table and we are joined by Wumi and Abs from Snackatizer. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. I'm good. I'm well. So you guys, I'll allow you guys to do a little intro for yourselves. What do you guys do and why weddings?
I'll let Abs go first.
No, you do it. You're the boss.
Me,
You're the boss lady.
Wumi from Snackatizer, running the business for a couple of years. So we specialise in Afrofusion canapés. Married to Abs for a little bit over 3 years. Only girl, 3 brothers. So growing up was a bit hectic. I love food. I love being in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I just want to be in and out. So the business is just perfect for me.
Okay.
And I just love people coming together, and I feel like people can unite over food. So that's a little background about me and like how we got into the business.
Perfect. Abs?
Well, mostly the same. I do a lot of helping out. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
She's the boss. I
Behind the scenes.
follow direction. I also handle the numbers, that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Really my department, that kind of thing. But yeah, same kind of thing. The last born, one of 3.
Okay.
So I got a brother and a sister as well. And yes, whatever she needs, I just support her with that kind of stuff. So that's really... I'm the background. You don't really see me on the social media or anything like that.
Women's more the face of the brand.
Exactly. She's the face of the brand. I'm in the background just making sure. Just counting the P.
Okay. And why weddings? Why the wedding industry?
It's a moneymaker. And personally for me, I just love love. When you see people coming together, when you see the couple come in and they see the room, the room reveal, the vendors all coming together to just create something so magical. And then obviously having a guest coming back from church or whatever ceremony and they're just uniting over our food, that's the best thing ever. It's just a little bit more special than, not saying that other events aren't as special, but weddings are just the best. Yeah. Different cultures, different, like 2 families just merging into one. I just love it. And it's...
Each wedding is different, so you feel like you're a part of something. And it's always interesting to see what this one's like in comparison to the other one and stuff like that, how hectic it gets, the breakdown of how beautiful it is as well, that kind of thing. Because sometimes when we're done with our stuff, we'll just stick around, just have a look. Have a look and just watch how it goes. And it's really, really nice. Yeah, that's why.
Beautiful days.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go into some wedding trivia.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pit you 2 against each other.
Oh.
We've got 5 questions.
Okay.
I've lost
So if you know the answer, just shout it out.
Okay.
And you'll get the point if it's correct. Only rule is you have to wait until the question is finished before you answer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
Oh man, I'm so
Ready?
loser as well. Okay, cool. Ready.
Gotta make sure you win then. Okay. Traditionally, who says their vows first?
The man.
Correct.
Thank you.
Abs 1 up.
Okay.
I got this.
Next up, who traditionally pays for the wedding?
The bride's family. Oh, that's
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
the
correct.
bride's
Yeah,
family.
that's
Correct.
You have that
1-1.
I'll let her have that one.
What flower is usually associated with a proposal?
I shouldn't have let her have that one. Roses?
Yes.
Damn. I'd say baby breaths, but yeah.
You are. I didn't propose with flowers, that's why.
He knew this question was coming. 2-1 to Abs. What is the name given to the meal served at the wedding reception?
The first dinner.
No.
Ooh, at the wedding reception. Nah, I got a pass on that one. I do not know.
I don't know.
Hey, food people.
I don't know.
We just know menu.
Canapés. Canapés?
No. Just know menu. That's
First food.
At the reception.
Yeah, the meal served at the reception.
Just the main meal.
The main meal.
Try.
Wedding dinner?
Close.
I don't know. Oh, no, I'm going to be so
It's the
upset.
wedding breakfast.
Is that what it's called? I've never known
I've heard of
that.
that terminology before.
We're the wedding canapes, so.
I'm too busy working in the kitchen, that's why.
Hey, okay. So that one's done. It's still 2-1 to Abs. So we could have a draw here, actually.
So I'm safe.
Who is in charge of planning the hen do?
Maid of honor.
Correct.
She's been a maid of honor a couple
dear.
times. So
Oh, yeah?
that's
So
why
you've had that responsibility, yeah?
Yeah, that's why.
Wild nights. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll leave that one as a draw.
Yeah.
2-2.
We'll take that.
The household wins on that one. So let's get into the topic. We're just talking all things food, actually. Talking around canapés. So like, what's the importance of canapés? What do you guys see as the importance of having canapés at a wedding?
When you think about a typical African wedding, you're thinking about an early start. So you're thinking of photographers, videographers getting to hotels at really early times. People's emotions, everyone's buzzing, everyone's, just on really good emotions. You go to the church, depending on what sort of ceremony you have in church or civil, there's all of that, pictures just before and after. So once you get to the reception, I just classify it as everybody's hangry in a less modified way. So people are expectant of something. So I feel like canapés plays a major part. Canapés and cocktails. You need to make sure that people have something to eat to tide them by just before they have their main meal. So that's the importance of the service that we provide.
Wedding breakfast.
Yeah. So it's got to be enough food to fill everybody up, but not too much. So as not to affect what the main caterer is doing. When people eat too much, when people have too many choices, they waste food. And they become maybe a bit too picky. I'll pick that, but I'm actually not going to have that. So it's just about providing enough to satisfy them, to keep them happy, leading up until when they're going to have their main meal. And and I feel like when you think about kind of like cocktail hour, people are having something nice to eat, a nice drink, and then they're just mingling with people that they haven't met before, they haven't seen in a long time. Bride and groom have something to nibble on as well, bearing in mind, not a lot of our bride and grooms tend to have breakfast because the nerves are high. There's a lot of running around and stuff like that. So I feel like some people look at it like, it's just a bit of puff spring roll, but it plays a major part, and it just allows everybody to just calm down. We've had weddings where people are just, oh my God, I'm hungry, I'm angry. And then by the time they have, a couple of spring rolls, I don't know, some prawns and a nice drink, they're cool. So I feel like our role is very important.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it's the first meal of the day for a lot of people on event days. That kind of thing, especially if we're talking weddings specifically, that kind of thing. First thing they're eating that day. So you need to come correct. And what tends to happen is you get rushed. They'll rush you, man. Literally, I'm hungry. And then the bride and groom
taking 4 or 5.
Literally, sometimes they'll come find you in the kitchen like, I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat. So so vital, man. Just sets up the day nicely. Sets the tone for the rest of the day, because then everybody's a little bit more calmed down. They've had something to eat now, so they can take in surroundings. They can get their seats and stuff like that. And just it flows into the rest of the day.
Yeah,
essentially. I think that's why.
Usually agree. I think even as an MC, you notice it like when people are still hungry, they're not going to listen to you, not paying attention, they're not focused, they're distracted. So when they've had canapés, when there's canapés playing, you just see people like, they're just happy, people are smiling and enjoying.
Everybody's happy when they eat, man. That's how it is.
Sure. So you'd say that not having too many options on canapés, because obviously you have you offer a range of services, or a range of like different dishes and options. So like what would be like your ideal in terms of like
number
per guest?
I think through experience on our years in the business, we'd recommend 4, maximum 5 canapés. Everybody's in a particular business to make money, but the last thing we'd want is for a couple to waste money. And like I said, when people see too many options just before they're about to have a meal, 2 or 3 hours later, they waste a lot of food. We've been to weddings whereby you've even seafood, poultry, burgers, spring rolls, will just go to waste because there's just too much. So I'd say 4, maximum 5 canapés. If you're thinking about people having drinks, especially sweet, fruity drinks as well, you could have carbonated drinks as well, which makes you feel fuller for longer. So by the time you gush that supermalt or Coke down your throat, you're already feeling full. So I'd say a maximum of 5 is good.
Yeah, if you're talking weddings, about that. Like that.
Is it different for other
yeah, of course. So if someone's having a bridal shower, birthday party, that kind of thing, then sometimes it can be the only food they're having. For example, at that event, they might not want to traditionally go for jollof rice and all that kind of stuff. So in that kind of scenario, then they can express themselves in a way. They just go for as much as they want, whatever preferences they want. Exactly, and then you just have to do a spread. Because in that kind of scenario, we can do like a setup rather than like waiters and stuff like that. Fine. So that can you do a nice table for them, risers, plips, all that kind of stuff. So in that scenario, it's a little bit different. But if it's wedding, it's talking not too much of a choice because people will get full within an hour, like we said. They'll have their drink, and then it's sort of like, okay, you know what, that's enough of that. I want the main meal soon, that kind of thing. So it's better not to have that waste, that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, I hear you on that. So you said you guys got married
2019.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
So after you started the business. Started the business before getting married.
No, we did a lot of things. I don't think we did things the traditional way.
I think it was traditional. It made sense. It made sense.
But you're here now, it's worked out.
Yeah, it made sense. I think it was a circumstance thing on there.
Yeah.
It made sense. It was just like, she likes food anyway. She loves she was cooking all the time. I always had a passion for like having a business, like a food business kind of thing. I don't know why. Maybe I think when I was at uni, we used to go to one spot back then, just where we used to just have Nigerian food and stuff like that. And I always looked at that business and thought, we can do better than this. It was all right. The food was nice, but the place, they weren't taking care of that service and stuff. So I always said in the future, I want something where I can have my own business, running that kind of with really good service and stuff like that. So obviously when I met Wumi, really good cook, really good, fantastic cook. Right. So I'm thinking you up in it. So it just kind of aligned. And sometimes in this economy, you need 2-3 incomes. You know, the way the cost of living is now right now. You need that. So
this is true.
It really just made sense. And here we are now, to be honest.
Okay. So obviously you guys had been in the industry before getting married. Did you, so having been in the industry before getting married, what things still shocked you when it came to planning your wedding or getting that together?
With our wedding, we didn't go down the traditional route. So we ran away, we went abroad.
Okay.
So it was lovely. It was intimate.
Was it like an elope or destination wedding?
Destination.
Okay, fine.
I said, sadly, I think just obviously us being in the business and seeing what went on behind the scenes with other weddings, I was like, I don't want to do this, man. So I just sat down with my dad. I was like, Daddy, I want to go away. And my mum was like, no, she wanted a big hoo-ha. Yeah. And because I'm a daddy's girl, he was like, we'll do whatever you want. So we just ran away, had English canapés, English food, everybody just chill. So I can't really...
That's Turkish food.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was Turkish.
Was it in Turkey, yeah?
No, it was in
Cyprus.
Cyprus.
Okay,
Cyprus,
nice.
yeah.
It was Turkish that we had at the wedding. So very simple, very intimate as well.
Yeah.
So this was in what, 2019?
2019.
Yeah.
Just before COVID. Okay, so what was it like? What's it like, destination wedding? Well, as in compared to like what you thought it would be against what it actually was?
Easy. Lovely.
Yeah.
Stress-free.
The numbers we had, 30 guests?
30 guests?
Yeah, so that was nice.
Okay.
So it was really,
wonderful.
really intimate. It's like our top...
Nearest and dearest.
Yeah, groomsmen, bridesmaids.
No one's faffing
really
about.
close friends and family. Yeah. And then just the 2 sets of parents.
No live band.
And that was it. We did bring vendors from the UK. So like MC and DJ and all that kind of stuff. So it was still authentic, like proper Nige, like us kind of thing. But it was like...
Just without the hoo-ha. Just without the additional Nigerian
the night before, just all the young people just went for a few drinks, had a nice dinner, you know, that kind of thing. And then the next day we just got ready. Everybody was chilling. My groomsmen anyway were chilling by the pool for a little while, you know. Yeah. Then we was like, it's time to get ready, you know. So no stress. I just got to get back to my wedding. Nothing, no stress. It was really, really nice. Yeah. I mean, you see that obviously people go abroad and they can still go abroad and do 200 people. Yeah. Whatever, that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it's nice, but for us it was just kind of like,
just keep it low key.
Keep it low key, really quiet, really peaceful. Cool. Yeah.
And you did exactly the same.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't like noise.
That sounds amazing though. Nice. Destination weddings are amazing. Yeah. What advice would you give to people if they were going to plan a destination wedding?
What advice?
Go see the place. So we flew out.
Yeah.
Went to see it. I don't even think we stayed over. We literally just went
one day,
went
bang,
there,
see it, come back.
See the place, make sure.
So you
spoke
picked
to the
out
planner.
where you was gonna go. You picked out the location before.
Yeah. So we did some research.
Yeah.
Spoke to a couple planners and stuff.
Yeah, research.
Yeah.
Did you get a planner from here or planner English?
They're just
Okay.
easier to work with. I'd say just do your research and just find out a place that will be suitable for all of your guests, a place that everybody can afford to go to.
Yeah.
You can find a place that looks just as amazing as Santorini, but without the Santorini budget. So I feel like people should just open their eyes and to not be afraid to do it. People don't want to do particular things because of family, what friends and what people would say, but it's just about you at the end of the day. So
They'll forgive me. They'll forgive me. Man. It's 3 years now. Like, anybody that's not talked to me in that I haven't spoken to in that time, I wasn't meant to speak to. So
it's true. It's true.
How it is, man. For real.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. No, that's nice that you guys enjoyed that.
Definitely.
Let's do a wedding dilemma.
Okay.
So, I've asked my fiance's mother to help plan our wedding, and she took that as an invitation to organise the whole event. How can I prevent her from taking over?
Whose point of view is this?
This is from the bride.
From the bride has asked, okay, a husband to be his mother.
Yeah.
So bride has asked husband to be his mother.
Yeah.
Help plan.
Does he like to try and like buy favour and
do X, Y, Z?
Yeah, help
and now
me.
she's just taking
and now
over.
She's trying to take control.
I'll tell my guy, you need to talk to your mom. You tell your mom to pull back, baby. Yeah.
But it's tough to manage because obviously if he's more time, the mother-in-law might know that he's coming to talk to me because she's told them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Respectfully, I think you just gotta kind of ignore. You can pacify, you know, with these parents, man. You can pacify them, but also ignore what they're saying. You have to respectfully though.
Yeah. But it depends the direction that's coming from. Because if she's asking you stuff directly, as the one that's trying to come into the family, it's tough to.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, if she's coming to you, you know how to manage. You know how to manage your mum.
I guess so. It's
but if
different.
It's me, we got this. I'll step on Ab's neck. I'll be like, talk to your mum.
Yeah, I think
she's coming like dress shopping. She'd be like, no, you can't do this dress.
I feel like it would have to come from me. I would have to be the one to be like, look, we got this, man. If we need anything, we'll let you know. But we got this. All you guys need to do is just show up in your best garms and just eat, dance. I know, yes, your day too, but it's not like that.
Yeah, they like that. It's our day too. But what if they're contributing though?
That's where it becomes a bit tricky.
It does get a bit techie.
I think it also you need to know your parents as well. If your parents are the type of people whereby if you collect a couple of grand from them and they're the type of people that would want to take over, then you'd probably be a lot less accepting of their financial aid. Whereby whether I take something or not from my parents, if I say I don't want to do X, Y, Z, then they'll just respect it. Yeah, so I think you need to know your parents, and then it will allow you to. Yeah,
it shouldn't factor. It shouldn't factor because that's your child.
But you know some people.
I know it happens, but it shouldn't.
I was about to say, Abs, I'm sure you know some people that it will be a big factor.
It shouldn't factor. But you should be able to you should be able to obviously talk to your parents and just say, look, we got this, man.
Yeah.
We've got to remember when them parents got married, however long ago it was, man, things were very different.
It was a different time, yeah, for sure.
Different.
It was, I mean, back then, because our parents always say, "Oh, it's our day too." Yeah. Back then, it really was more for the parents.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have a trad?
No.
We had a.
See, I said no so violent.
Why did they try to offend you? We had like an intro trad thing.
Okay, just an introduction.
It's like a really small and intimate, yeah. Because that's for them. Because I think at the end of the night, we left at like 11. I was like, Mum, we're going home. It's a party not done. She was like, you people can go home, but we're still partying. Yeah. It's about them. They're not bothered.
Yeah, they don't care. So, that was literally very, very, very intimate. So it wasn't anything. Okay. It wasn't anything.
That was just for the families to meet each other and the party.
That was it. Yeah. Do the normal, all the shebang.
And eat and drink after. That's it.
Yeah. Why only canapés? Why not the full catering?
These muscles I'm weak. I can't be turning rice all the time.
Yeah, it's the effort.
Yeah, I just
it's a lot of effort.
The contrast between canapés and catering is huge.
It is a lot because we've worked in kitchens with main caterers before and what they go through. Whereas we're just like, let me just plate this, let me sprinkle a bit of that, off it goes. Whereas they're like, yep, is the rice ready? Then they get big stick, turn it and everything, and everybody's sweating. I beg.
And they got to do it to get ready for a certain time.
Yeah,
got the time window to
it can't be
warm.
late. It can't run out. It
job
can't.
is
None
tough,
of
innit?
that. So
I think for me, I'll just add, like I said, just because of my background, my parents were big. They still are big hosters. They have a lot of people coming around, friends and family. So I used to see my mum literally just whip up something so quickly. So it could be like stick meat, giz dodo, meat pies, whatever she had readily available. And it was always something that she'd offer to just pacify people, just to keep people, make sure that people are okay before she made a main meal. Or if she knew that people weren't really staying too long, she'd just give them a nice little snack. So I grew up around that. So that's what made me a lot really familiar with canapés and small chops. And yeah, I think I just realized that sometimes you don't really need a big heavy meal to entertain somebody as well.
True.
So that's the reason why I prefer it. And I feel like main catering, big up to them, lot. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work.
We did small in the beginning. We did
I said
small in the beginning, like, but then
Got
you
a little
have
taste of
and that was a little thing. You have to put the pot on the floor and really get in there to turn the thing. And we were like, help me. I was like, look, I'm tired too. So eventually we were just like, you know what, let's just stick to what we know, what we're good at, where we can really take care of the little details.
Okay.
And stuff like that. That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing.
Fine. So if you were going to give some advice to couples that were looking at planning their wedding and considering canapés, what would you suggest? What would you say?
Think about the guests that you have coming. So select items that would be universal for everybody. I always suggest picking like a meat, fish and a vegetarian option. That way you can cater to everybody's palate. But also think about yourself as well, what you like. And yeah.
One thing I always say though, actually as well, is a lot of couples will come. Maybe they'll do a taster or whatever. They'll pick stuff they like, but as I was touching on earlier, they'll pick a lot of things thinking, look, I like this, I like that, I like that. But if you recall, sometimes couples might not even get to eat that day. Like, so they might, I mean, we always try and make sure that the couple gets a plate at least, but depending on if everything's running on time, the rush, they might not get that stuff. So I always say, just think about
the people that
the guests. Think about the guests and what would satisfy them. Yeah. Not so much, I really like this type of thing.
Bruschetta,
I really like bruschetta. I like
and
this.
then we served it, and then one auntie was like, bread.
You was like, what's this?
Bread. And then I remember it was bruschetta with like chopped tomatoes and onions. There was falafel, and it was literally like, give me bread.
Them women or aunties and that. What's this? They would disgrace you.
They did disgrace us that day.
There was nothing we could eat that day. You don't want that. So you want to make sure that you know exactly who's coming. You can't really know everybody's palate, but just make sure
something that's universal.
Yeah, universal for everybody.
I think it is tough sometimes to balance up like what the couple wants against what everybody else wants.
That's the thing.
But at the end of the day, especially if you're invited like 200 people, you have to consider what other people are going to eat.
Meat, seafood, vegetarian option, something that's carb related so it fills people. I'd always recommend that.
All bases covered.
Yeah.
100%.
Agreed. What advice would you give to if someone's considering starting a canapé business?
Research. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think when we first started the business, I was definitely afraid because I wasn't on social media. So it meant me having to come out of my comfort zone and speaking to people that I had never spoken to. So don't be afraid to ask. The worst somebody will do is air you or say, I can't help you. And then you move on to the next person. Because we are where we are today because of the advice and the support that we've received from other vendors. And it's not just food vendors as well, people within the wedding industry, entertainment industry as well. So don't be afraid to ask. A lot of research. Don't be afraid to try something and fail. And at least you know that it just, what works for somebody might not work for you, but at least you've tried and then you know exactly where to put yourself. And to remember that word of mouth is important as well. So to always put your best foot forward.
Take care of the
we've been to gigs where things have not gone in our favor, but we just have to try to make the best out of a situation. And it's led to amazing and even more powerful referrals. Just because some people have been able to see what we've been able to make out of something. We've been to places where kitchen is not functioning, oven's broken, something's mashed up, waiters won't turn up, and you just kind of get your hands dirty. You just kind of get stuck into it because people on the outside are not going to see what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, they're just going to see
the outcome.
Just make sure you put your best foot forward, and that's what I'd say.
Wonderful,
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be prepared to work. Yeah, because sometimes you gotta wake up middle of the night, mix puff, you know, because the event is early, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm mixing puff at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., that kind of thing, and it's to feed 200 guests, that kind of thing. So late nights, early mornings. But if you plan, so that was one thing that we picked up from the beginning when we used to we didn't use to plan ahead. We wouldn't necessarily take care of that side of things, and then we just started figuring out, okay, X, Y, Z needs to be done the night before, or at this time we need to go get all the inventory or the stuff by this day during the week. Can't be going last minute, all that kind of stuff, and it just made it a lot smoother for us. Yeah, and now it's just a lot less stressful. Than it used to be, and it's a lot more straightforward now. Definitely, just planning is so key, man. It's great.
Yeah. Makes a massive difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Where can the people find you?
You can find us on the socials. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm TikTok.
What's the handles?
At Snackatizer.
Oh, Snackatizer with a Z.
With a Z.
With a Z. Wonderful. It's been a pleasure having you guys.
Thank you
for coming down. Hopefully there was some gems in there for the people. I know I took some stuff away. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's it. Another episode of The Vendors Table. Catch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Stay tuned. We'll be back for more fun.